Hey everybody, welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. We are just about to start, or finish up rather, the Sinner's Prize. This area isn't very long, thankfully. Now, I'm not actually concerned about going and killing the boss here, so I'll be doing that in a moment. I have some other things I'd like to do first. So, I'm not going to be too concerned with using up my Estus flasks, because I'll be replenishing them. We'll drop off a little early here and grab some lacerating knives. And I'm actually going to do this. And Lucatiel is here. Now, she is mostly just going to be here to aggro some enemies. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to fight the boss right now. So, we have another Flexile Sentry over here. Ow, that hurt. As you can see, the water is quite deep here, so we have to deal with very slowed down movement. But not too bad. And he doesn't respawn, I don't believe. Now we have another hidden wall here. Get ready to pucker your butts. We're going to step out just onto the ledge here, grab the Northern Ritual Band. Lucatiel. I have quite the fear of water, so the Blossom Kite Shield there is a decent option, because if we go take a look at the stats. Oh! Got the Varangian. Does that have the quick parry animation? No. Doesn't have the one that I like. The Blossom Shield here, as you can see, although it does not have 100% physical, the rest of its resistances, including poison, nearly almost capped, are all quite high. The bleed being one of the big ones here, so it's, it has its uses. I can't remember if it's up on this half or if it's on the other half. There's a player back here. It is. Or is it? No, it's not. There were a ton of new NPC Summon Locations added in Scholar of the First Sin, and I still don't know where all of them are. Perhaps it's on this side then? Or it might even be down below. Oh no, here it is. The Bastille Key. You can see we have a Haydenite here, as well as a Fire Seed. See, this one has a spear, and it has a 100% drop rate for that spear. I believe down on the bottom half here, somewhere down here, there are some soul items. There's one. As well as a Pharaoh's Lockstone. I'll just let Lucatiel handle these guys, I guess. Like I said, I'm not concerned with doing the boss, so I don't care about her health falling low here or having used Estus. Okay, that's everything. Now, the boss is here. And we might as well do this stuff while we're here, pick up these items and whatnot. Smooth and silky stone. And if we go ahead and use one of our flame butterflies here, we can actually set this oil alight. Which will become apparent why in a little bit. So the use of this Bastille Key is why I didn't come right here when I went to Strayd's cell. So, we are going to... Oh, right, we have to kick her out of our world first. Now that the area is emptied, I could go re-summon her as well, if I wanted. You know what? Let's just fight the boss now. What the heck? We'll go resummon her and fight the boss. We don't need the silver cat ring for this fight. We can go stone ring here. It might be enough that we can... Oh, okay, her sign's not here. We'll have to reset the area and come back. If I had purchased it, I could use some healing miracles to heal her back up instead of unsummoning her. But since we're going back here anyways... So I'm going to be upgrading the Haydenite Spear. This is going to be goodbye to the Fire Longsword. And the Haydenite Spear... Oh, it's 25 dexterity. Okay, hold on. Let's get one more dexterity. 12 and 25. There we are. So, this, as you can see, is not quite as good as our Flame Longsword, but it is not upgraded yet. So we're going to go upgrade it. Need one more Titanite Shard. Then we'll use our large Titanite Shards here as well to get it all the way up to +6 for a lot of damage. And now we'll go to Mcduff's workshop. Let's see. I know where I can get the stone upgraded. I don't think he sells them, but let me double check just in case. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to go do something else here. We're gonna head all the way back to the Hayden's Tower of Flame and pivot here over to another fight. Now, this is my favorite weapon in the game. Ow. Ooh. It has incredible range, good poise damage, and just good damage overall. As you can see, the damage is pretty darn good. Now we'd like to aggro the Haydenite here and not have to fight him alongside the other enemies. As you can see, our heavy attacks stagger them in one hit. We are having the effects of the stone ring as well, to be fair. So, this knight over here was the one we just killed. Now with a +6 weapon, we are going to be a little powerful for this boss. So it's not going to seem that difficult, but this could be the first boss you fight if you come here. The range on this weapon is very, very good. It makes it an excellent PvE weapon. Okay. Now, do I have any... I don't. Okay. I was looking to see if I had any of the fire resistance item. Because we are going to get hit with some fire damage here. Most likely. Yeah. We'll go ahead and try that one again. I was trying to get there in time, but didn't quite get there. So as you can see the Drake from here, but if you tried to shoot at him with ranged, he will breathe fire over here and mess your day up. Come on. There we go. Titanite Sword as well. Very nice. In the first episode, I talked a little bit about damage types. And one of the big reasons I'm using this weapon is for its split damage type. There aren't too many enemies in the game with a really high lightning resistance, which makes the lightning portion damage very, very useful. As well as miracles are quite useful. The utility of them makes them one of the best spells to go for. So combining the utility of those spells into scaling a damage type that is quite effective against most enemies makes this a really solid weapon to go for, and my personal favorite type of build as well. Okay. He's going to hit us with fire. Ooh, he didn't. There we go, that's the Drake. And dragon-type enemies are extremely weak to lightning, as we learned from Dark Souls 1 lore. Lightning peels away their immortal scales. This is where the Ring of Binding used to be. I believe this is just effigies. Yes. And we have another boss fight here. This one might be a little familiar. If you've played Dark Souls 1, we have the old Dragon Slayer. Didn't quite roll in time. You can see our damage in this fight is very high. Don't see that attack very often. And there's the old Dragon Slayer defeated. Now the reason I went to go to this boss, it is an optional boss. One, the old Leo ring is quite useful for this build, but also, if you remember way back in part 1, we talked to Salden, the crestfallen knight in Majula. We talked about the blue sentinels in Hade's Tower of Flame. Now, this guy will normally not talk to you, but if you remember, I made my way over to the Huntsman's Copse to pick up a specific item. It was this token of Fidelity. This is proof of helping another world's master. You need one of these. You can also get them from laying down your white soapstone and being summoned into another person's world, and when you help them kill a boss, you will get a token of Fidelity. Using these as an item will heal you, and when in other worlds, it can be used to restore the master of the world's HP, but it's only a secondary effect. So it can be used to heal your host, potentially. But we need that as proof for this guy so that we can join this covenant.
Transient being. You have obtained proof you are worthy of joining our order. You may call yourself one of us, and are free to plant your roots in this garden of the gods. Be proud. I, Targray, do proclaim from this day you are a Knight of the Blue. Rejoice and bask in your new honor.
You can see our icon in the top left corner changed.
You are no longer a mere vagabond. You are now a guardian, a Knight of the Blue. Proud Knight, take this. Wear this ring and shine light upon stone. Then you will hear the voices of the Blue Apostles. Listen for their cries of help and repel the malicious invaders. This is the proud work of the Knights of the Blue, the way they elevate themselves to a higher plane. I'll provide what you need. You may visit me at any time.
So, if you wear that ring while in this covenant, you will be summoned into other players' worlds. Only people who are in the way of blue, who are being invaded by a black phantom. So, right now, the game's servers are not super populated, so this covenant doesn't work very well.
You may come to me, Targray, for help.
We have the dual bow gesture. And we can buy a couple things from him. Most importantly, a bolt stone. We can also buy holy water urns here, which are very good. We have two miracles here. Emit Force is quite good. But
pursue your work, Knight of the Blue.
We don't need it quite yet. That bolt stone is what we came here for. So we'll go and travel to Mcduff's workshop. So if we go to Infuse, if we take a look at our damage here, it is 168 physical, 96 lightning. If we imbue it with lightning, we lose 7 physical damage and gain, that is 42 lightning damage. Now, this also increases the lightning scaling, but it decreases our dexterity and strength scaling. Overall, it is far better. Our damage increase from that is going to be very significant, and this is where our build is going to start scaling with Faith really well. When fully upgraded, I believe it has a B in Faith scaling. And we already have. We already have a Titanite slab to upgrade it to plus 10. We just need chunks. So we'll go to 16. If you take a look at our right weapon attack rating, it goes from 375 to 381. So if we were to say, that goes to 381. If we were to take these points out and put them in Dex, we get 1 point of damage. Or if we put them in Faith, we get plenty. So, that's how our build is going to be scaling. Now, do we have an Estus Flash Shard? I feel like we picked one up. We don't. We do have some stuff we can go trade in at Things Betwixt, though, so let's go do that. Pickle Pea and Pumperum. So you have to drop these individually, not as a stack, or they will not trade. Poison. Cracked red eye ore. A Titanite chunk. And a bolt stone. So, wow, we could have got our bolt stone there. And that Titanite chunk, we can actually go upgrade our weapon to plus 7 with for even more damage. At this point, I am confident to take on all of the Lord Soul bosses with our current power, and we're only going to get stronger, so... I could go after any of the 4, but we're right at the Lost Sinner, so I may as well. So, this will take our damage up pretty significantly. 10 extra physical, 1 lightning, but it does increase our lightning scaling.
I'll be around.
Now, what I can also do here pop some of these.
What?
And we'll go here and buy the rest of his Titanite Shards. Then we will go to Reinforce, and we will go to the Longbow. And we're gonna increase this all the way to +3, and we'll take it to +5.
I'll be around.
Because it's significantly more damage. Oh yes, much better. And we could give that lightning scaling with a bolt stone as well, but right now the scaling from our dex is going to be better damage. Once I'll be going up to 50 faith and 30, maybe 40 dex, depending on how far I take this. I'll probably go do most of the DLC stuff. Maybe not all of the optional DLC bosses, they're quite annoying, but do the main DLC bosses anyways. Let's go take on the Lost Sinner. Now this area should be much easier with our new weapon. Yes, 418 damage, 1 shot. We also need to use a human effigy here. We still have plenty of human effigies. Very easy. I like the look of this as well, and I just like spears in general. Spears are my favorite type of weapon. I don't believe the Flexile Sentry respawns, so we'll just summon her here. Oh, it does respawn. What do you know? But we're just gonna run on through. Lucatiel will take a couple hits, but she'll eventually follow up behind. And we'll be killing the boss fast enough that it's not gonna matter what her hit points are. So, if you remember, we lit up those braziers. Normally this boss room is quite dark, and because of that, the distance at which you can lock onto the boss is very short. That's not going to be a concern now that I've lit up the boss arena. We can lock onto her from much further away and see better. And there we are, the Lost Sinner. That is 2 of our bosses with Lucatiel done now. And there's a significant increase on the boss's HP pool and damage, you have to remember. The Fragrant Branch, because we are summoning for the fight, right? We have a Primal Bonfire here. So, that was our first of the Lord Souls. As you can see here, Soul of the Lost Sinner.
You have acquired the soul. That is more than most undead can say. Those who come to Drang Lake seeking... It happens to them. That blue, although he does... Perhaps he...
So, go up to 20 faith. I think I can show this off now. I forgot to buy the bright bugs, actually, and now they are more expensive.
Lively.
After each Lord Soul boss, certain things will advance at Majula.
You need armor?
So, we can go ahead and see he sells the Lost Sinner's gear now. These penal handcuffs, you notice, have the effect of raising the power of pyromancies. So, if you're playing a pyromancy build, those could be quite useful.
Are you sure?
Now, which of the 3 paths do I want to go down next? Of the 3 paths remaining, that is. Let's go get the Crossroads. So, you can see that's where we came out of things betwixt, up there in those rocks, but off to the side here, there's another pathway. And we see a familiar looking sword with a not so familiar looking NPC.
Have you business with me? The way yonder is all blocked up, you see, by this god-awful statue. Heavens above! Who thought it a good idea to put it there? I'm in quite the pickle now. See that statue? Gives me the willies. You stare at it for long enough, it starts to look alive. It just doesn't seem quite right. There are no craftsmen round these parts. Hey, you don't think a real live person was turned to stone, do you? See that statue? Gives me the will. Hey.
So he's talking about the statue in these ruins over here, which we can see from here. Thankfully, we have some fragrant branches of yore. So why don't we go and unpetrify this statue? Now, before we do that, We could have come here very early on.
I've been petrified. Hard to speak. Give me a moment, please. I'm fine. I think. No. I'm fine. Really, I am. My name is Rosabeth. Thank you so much for rescuing me. Oh. You're that traveler. I still haven't thanked you. Well, I'm quite a hand at pyromancy. So perhaps you could consider this my thanks. I was attacked and turned to stone, I think. I owe you my life. If you had not come... Oh, I feel shameful wearing these rags. I hate to burden you further, as you've already saved my life. But just look at me. My clothes are in tatters. Do you have any clothing that you could spare? I'll take anything, whatever you don't need. I'm not particular when it comes to apparel. Anything at all will do. Just put it on the ground, and I'll change into it later.
So if you actually put it on the ground, that won't be very good for you. But maybe there was some intended things when they were recording the dialogue, and they just changed up how they planned the coding, you know? So we're going to go ahead and give her a armor piece in every slot. I'll just give her the full set here.
I have my very own teacher. His name is Carillion of the Fold, a famed sorcerer in Melfia, our hometown. I was fascinated by sorcery, and so, well, he's so unique, you see? When he set out for Drang Lake, I couldn't let him go alone. But we were separated, quite early on, I'm afraid. I'm rather unskilled. My lord probably ditched me. But, oddly, I'm a fast learner when it comes to pyromancy. What we're fascinated by, and we're skilled at, are not always the same thing. Why can't I just focus on what I truly enjoy? Oh dear, I shouldn't be so choosy. It's hardly my place. I have my very own teacher. His name... But... Thank you so much. I'm very happy for this gift. After I change into this, I'm heading for Majula. I'm not sure where I might find the Lord. But perhaps Majula is my best chance. I'm going back to... I hope we can meet again. I'm rather unskilled, but what? Oh dear, it's hardly my... Be safe.
So, we're going to activate a little trap here. And we have some goblins to fight. That is what these guys are called. Goblins. Again, we have these load screen doors. I'd much rather hidden load screens like this. Now we also have a bonfire. So, here we go. It's one of my favorite areas, actually. I love the aesthetic of the shaded woods. And although one area in particular I hate, as do most people I'm sure, the rest of it is all very good. One of the enemy types here has some pretty janky animations, but other than that, and I forgot to do this, but we had got the old Leo ring, which increases the counterattack damage of thrust attacks. So that includes not just the parry, riposte, backstab, guard break, but also counter hits from enemies, attacking enemies mid-attack. Now, we aren't actually going to go through this area quite yet. I just wanted to come get this bonfire. And I wanted to get I wanted to get Rosabeth unlocked, and I wanted to get the Estus Blast Shard. This way will probably be the last one that we do.
Is that a shard you found? Here, to see. However...
As you can see... Oh, she's not there yet. Well, she'll show up eventually, I'm sure. We are going to go to... Oh, there she is. The Huntsman's Copse. And we're going to go this way next. Now we are very, very well geared and well leveled for this area. So, this is going to seem like a bit of a joke, but... So there are some moths around here. We have seen these poison moths a little earlier when we came here. Not sure if that was the first or second episode. I think the second, probably. Here is Forlorn. This was an NPC invader added in Scholar. We're going to see quite a lot of him. Ooh. Don't roll off the edge. We'll be seeing him quite a lot. Oh, I missed an item pickup in there. Visions of weapon. Well, we're gonna drop down inside here. There's a Cyan Knight, but that's not gonna pose a threat to us. Soul Spear. Another Sublime Bone Dust. And this drops us right back out here. I will do the main boss of this area first, and then come back for the optional boss later. Where are you? Okay, I know there's a guy here. There he is. You took your time. So that lowers down this bridge. And here we have a locked door with a bonfire and someone inside. Very interesting. Let's go this way first. Now, there is a Titanite Lizard up here, I believe. We also have Merciless Rowena. Who's not really much of a threat. And we get the Undead Lockaway Key. So, Rogue Gauntlets. Actually, I like the look of the Rogue set. So, that opens this up. We can get another bonfire here. We can talk.
Who are you? I thought you were that bastard for a moment. You've set me free. Now I can find him. The cheeky prick. He won't know what hit him. I am Creighton of Mirror. I travel from land to land to hone my blade. I've heard this land was full of danger. I thought it would suit me perfectly. I joined forces with a man on the way, but he was no more than a backstabbing knave. He took the first chance he had to try and off me. I decided to set a trap for him here. But then I got trapped myself. I can't believe that I was so dense. Thank the stars that you came along. You be careful of him. Pate, I think he said. He wears this rather unusual ring. You'll know it when you see it. I've seen his type before. He kills entirely for the pleasure of it. I'm sure I won't be his last victim. The man's better off dead, I tell ya. He's a slick talker, so don't let him fool ya.
Interesting.
Pate, the man with a strange ring. Watch out for the slimy rat. And don't you believe a word he says. I'll find the common footpad and put an end to his roguery. Pate. And off.
Alright. We'll rest here. That'll respawn everything, but it will repair our weapon, which we care more about. And we didn't kill too many enemies either. So we're actually going to go this way. Another curse jar over there. You can see the skeleton didn't give us any souls there. Okay. Just want to back up and heal. Careful there. We come to a dead end from this side. But I wanted to come here to kill the Necromancer. The undead lockaway key actually used to be in here. They moved it up above, I don't know why. There's a lot of item placement changes in Scholar that don't really have much reason. They just changed it. And didn't really say why they changed it. So, we will go ahead and kill the Necromancer there. And we could just go fight the boss, but let's go back through here first. Another Titanite chunk there, and a Nestus Flask shard. You can pull this lever to open up this shortcut. Although honestly I don't know that it's much of a shortcut. We can summon Creighton here, and very briefly I'm actually going to go check. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to see if we need to summon him here for the quest. No, you just need to exhaust his dialogue. You don't need to summon him here, so I will not summon him. Yes, you can attempt this jump for that item, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll go kill the boss first and come back and do it after. So, we have the Skeleton Lords. I forget the exact order I like to kill these guys in, but let's go with him first. Yeah, this one's okay to kill first. Let's head back here and heal up. This is a relatively simple boss fight. I think we want to kill the Scythe one next. These be knights and not wheels. Good. Alright. Alluring skulls can be useful in this fight if you're having trouble. As they will grab the attention of the enemies. Oh good, we one-shot them. And there we go. That is the Skeleton Lords. Grab another drink. Since we have to wait for the bridge animation anyways. Much better. So here we have Harvest Valley. This may actually be an area that you recognize. If you've played the DLCs for Dark Souls 3, then they should be familiar. So that poison gunk there, I think we'll see a little bit more of that later as well. It will build up our poison over time. And once we are no longer covered in it, then our poison will lower back down. Now we do have another NPC here.
Are you a traveller? I'm Cloanne, an ore-stone trader. I travel about collecting rare stones, which I sell to make my living. I never planned to visit this god's forsaken place. But I don't know. I just sort of ended up here. I must have just wandered in. But now that I'm here, I've been scouting around for rare bits. Oh, don't look at me like that. Many of these stones are quite useful. For instance, certain stones are used in smithing. Ah, now your ears prick up. I've extras if you can pay. This is my trade, after all.
So, there's a couple things we want to buy here. Our inventory doesn't have a whole lot yet, but there will be more. We're going to buy the Soul Appease spell.
I came here in search of rare stones, but the place is nothing like I was told. All this poison, and you can't get very far inside. Don't just go haplessly wandering about. These stones may look all the same, but to the trained eye, each is unique. Some of them are used to smith weapons and armor, and some unique stones provide special benefits. Some of them are extremely rare and should be used with great thrift. None of the differences are easily spotted, but I've learned quite a lot, really. Drang Lake. How is it that I ended up here? It's funny. I can't seem to remember. I've searched every nook and cranny here. I suppose it's time to move on. Perhaps we'll meet again, if we live that long. I I've searched every nook. I suppose it's about time I...
Alright. Now, I'm not going to go do the boss of this area yet, but I'm going to do a little bit of exploring. You can see we are being poisoned while we are down here. If you just pop some life gems, it's fine to just tank through it, basically. There are some Titanite Shards here, which is quite useful. Titanite chunk, which is what I wanted to grab down here. Another Titanite chunk. Another fragrant branch of yore. We have plenty of those stocked up now. And a familiar face. He's gonna have a couple new things for us here. Oh no, he doesn't quite yet. So, I'm gonna head down here and sell all of these shields that I bought. I'll hold on to one just for collection purposes. Now, this isn't going to be very useful for us, being just a fire seed, but like I said, we really just came here for the Titanite chunks. Okay. We're gonna head on back to Majula and do some leveling up and some upgrading. You can see Chloanne has come back to Majula now.
Oh, fancy meeting you here. Speak up if you need anything at all, alright?
So, I'm going to buy all 10 of her Titanite Shards because we're going to need them.
These stones may look all the same. Some of them are none of the different. You know how they call this place Drang Lake, right? Well, in the old lore, in stories and the like, they said it had another name. What was it? Well, I don't know. It's just something I heard. Since long, long ago, many kingdoms have risen and fallen on this very spot. Each like a great flame that turns to soot. Maybe that's why people don't remember much about the past.
So that's her talking about Drang Lake being built on the same spot that Lordran was built on, and the same spot that eventually Lothric would be built on.
You see that blacksmith over there? Is he one of those hollows? He seems to keep eyeing me up. He sort of looks like my father. He's a blacksmith too, you see. The poor man's such a worrywart. But he wouldn't follow me out here, would he? I was born in a land to the west, Volgan, famous for its merchants. They were great, bustling cities. But for me, they were suffocating. And so I set out, in search of stones in faraway lands. There are dangers, for certain, but I much prefer to live this way. But for the life of me, I can't remember how I ended up here. It's as if I were drawn to the place, or lured in. Oh, I don't know. These stones may look visit me again, whenever you...
I knew you'd be around soon. Go on, show me what you've got. How goes your journey? Take these. They should help a bit. My witless daughter finally came home. Just as oblivious as she's always been. Well, at least now I can keep an eye on her. Stones? Try asking my daughter. You might be surprised. Drat. You're worse than my reckless daughter. Don't spend your whole life in...
So we will upgrade this to +8, and all we need is 2 more Titanite chunks, and we will have it maxed out. Now, that's all sold out. With the money we have now, I'm going to continue reinforcing our armor. So that is all of our Titanite Shards. I'm not going to spend the large here. Not just yet. We'll spend the 3 large here to make this +6.
I'll be around.
I don't think she'll have...
You know how they... Well...
I think the Lencha might have something new to say.
Everyone's... You're my own. We call this place not to... Is everyone's...
So, no new dialogue from her. We do have some bone dusts to burn. And Estus shard to hand in.
Is that here to see? However,
so we're gonna go 22 Faith. I forget what spell, but I know a spell needs 22. I'm going to attune Soul Appease. I'm actually going to equip the Cleric's Sacred Charm that we picked up way back in the first episode. So I can show off what this spell does. Does this big AoE. It only does damage to hollow enemies, but that will be quite useful for some upcoming things. Let's go ahead and equip the Silver Cat Ring and move on to something new. I'm going to unequip my armor because the damage you take from falling is also based on how heavy you are. As you can see, you don't need to get the ladders. We'll top off here again, just to be safe. I am pretty sure that I can fall down here, but we'll come do this in a little bit. I'll go down right to the bottom a little later. For now, take this first path. Why can I not? There it is. Grave of Saints. Let's actually rest. You'll notice the name of this bonfire is Havel's Resting Place. Harvel's Resting Place, rather. I believe Harvel is the name of the leader of the Rat Covenant. Double check that. When we get there, I suppose. There they are. So, we are fighting rats. Yes, although we haven't seen any until now, Dark Souls 2 does indeed have rats. See, we have a ladder right there. We can also use Pharaoh's Lockstones here to activate traps and change the layout. This is the first of 2 different Covenant areas. These are totally optional. You can see the rats there, and they've fallen you out. I am going to use the Pharaoh's Lockstone to lower one of these bridges, because there are a couple items we can go pick up. We don't need any of these items, but see some more rats coming. Now, this boss is going to be a bit of a joke. We could have come here. This could have been our first boss if we wanted. And we're going to pull out our charm here, or our chime, rather. And that was Royal Rat Vanguard.
Leave this place, human. We have no time for thy kind. Humans bring nothing but filth. Is that a rat tail, human? Thou'st one of mine rat burrows conquered. This will not go unnoticed. Rejoice, for the right to serve me is now thine. Since thou'rt human still, permit me ask, wilt thou thy human soul surrender and pledge thyself to me? Swearest thou by the sweet-tempered sludge that laps at our bosoms? Thou hast the eyes of one who perceiveth true beauty. Human, thou mayst serve. Take this ring. It was forged by a human who was once among us. The ring draws to thee those who would defile our burrow. Wear the ring whenever thou art near, and destroy those who would dare provoke our ire. I will grant unto thee all thou shouldst so desire. I prithee serve with a true rat's honor.
So, this is one of my favorite covenants, one of the best covenants in the series, in my opinion. I like it a lot. There are 2 areas throughout Dark Souls 2 where this covenant can be used. By equipping the ring, where is it? Here it is. You will summon other people into your world. And then you will try and kill them. You get to use the environment to your advantage. It was a very unique idea. Not the best executed, but it was still a very cool area. A cool idea for a covenant, mind you. I thought they did a very good job. It's not the most active, and it doesn't exactly work the best. You want to make sure you do not give him the rat tail to advance the covenant, especially if you're playing offline. So, this jump here sucks. I don't even remember what the item actually is. See, we have a Titanite Lizard. Here's how I like to get this one. Oh, and it fell. I'd rather get the chest. I can come back and get that lizard another time. So we had a couple of these guys here. have Great Heal. And we have a Cyan Knight. A little early. This is either a shard or a sublime bone dust, I forget. Yeah. Which we didn't burn. The other one we had either. So we have 2 of those to burn now. Now we are coming to an area that a lot of people dislike. With good reason, I suppose. I think people overstate how difficult this area really is, but it can be a bit of a hassle. You have to take your time, especially. This is an important chest to grab. We have a token of spite. That is the equivalent of the token of fidelity for invasions. And here we have the gutter. Which we are not going to do right now. We are going to come back here in a little bit. We have a couple other things we'd like to do first. Before I forget, let's burn those sublime bone dusts. No significant souls to pop here. Let's get our vigor up to... I want to get that to 20. And I'll be getting my endurance to 20 as well. Next up, we are going to do... Bridge approach is probably the best way to get there. We're going to go do an optional boss. I want to go to the gutter first and get that token of spite before I did this. For similar reasons to why I got the token of fidelity. And instead of going the way we did before, we're going to head this way. Oh good, we two-shot these guys. I've been debating heavily as to whether or not I want to do a certain optional boss, or if I want to get the reward a faster way. I mentioned in the first episode that I'll probably just go ahead and not do the boss so that I can get the reward I'm looking for faster. Only have 14 life gems left. You can see with our upgraded longbow, it's dealing quite a lot of damage as well. they deal a lot of damage. Cracked red eye orbs. Undead Purgatory. So. Oh, who the? Okay. Okay. Now, this coming boss is a little annoying, but we should be okay. So, we'll go take out the Necromancer. There are 2 Necromancers here. Alright. You want to take out the Necromancer and then take out the skeletons. And he will be right over here. So, we'll pop a life gem, and we'll pull this lever. Ow. He turned, and I was not expecting that. Excuse you. Ow. And there's the Executioner's Chariot. Soul of a Brave Warrior. That's 5,000 souls. We have, I think there's a bonfire here. Yes. And a pretty well hidden item. Not a very useful item, but a well hidden one. You will rest here.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Do you have a lust for blood? Yes, of course. Why else would you be here? Do you give yourself the armor? Then you will need blood. Lots of it. Undead blood, like your own. But it's not as easy as you think. Well, what do you say? Join the Brotherhood of Blood? That can hardly be the whole story. I want to hear what you really think. You want more than just a little blood. You want to be drenched in blood, mired in its foul stench. Am I right? Am I? Oh, just say that I'm right. Huh? I knew it. I knew it. Fantastic. You're the best. Now you are a servant of Na-Allah. This crest of blood is yours. There. Another servant of blood is born. You will serve well. I just know you will. Well, how are we? Whatever you need, I've got it for you.
So we can get a couple things here. Primarily I want to get the Priest's Chime. We can get the bone armor, I suppose, if you want that. The delicate string, as it says, increases chance of being invaded. Then we can get the soapstone, silver talismans, hexing urns, some cool stuff, as well as some pyromancies.
Do you know anything about tokens of spite? Well, you can fight other blood servants with them. I'll reward you if you win with red orbs. You know, a cracked red eye orb. Use them to visit other worlds and seek more blood. Tell me if you need anything else. I'm very generous. Anything to get you covered in blood. Have you heard of the Blue Sentinels? They're a thorn in our sides, to say the least. Their men are obsessed with hunting down blood servants. Who cares? It's just another chance to spill more blood. Doesn't that excite you? Do you know anything about tokens of spite? Tell me.
Oh, that is the Brotherhood of Blood. The invasion-focused covenant.
Bearer of less.
Spend our souls. first, let's go here. I'm going to rejoin the Rat Covenant and go get that Titanite Lizard. So I'm not sure if it gives a chunk or not, I can't remember. I don't think it does, but let's go check.
Wake, night be gone. My servant, speak thy minds.
So yes, you don't want to offer your rat tail unless you plan on earning more. Buy a few interesting things here. Corrosive urns, super BM, dung pies, not bad. The common fruit is can be quite useful. The bleed and petrify resist have their uses as well. Suppose I could try that jump as well. Didn't get him. Plenty of homeward bones, so I don't mind using them here. Let's go ahead and try that again. No. There we go. No, we got some large, but no chunks. If we go to Harvest Valley, we will be able to get some more chunks. There's a few more around there on our way up to the windmill. Okay, let's try that jump for the item now as well. So we just want to run and jump right into the corner of that pillar and wall. So let's see if we can get this. There we go. And disc chime. So we are going to change this Cleric Sacred Chime. I can show off this, but it has worse scaling and worse lightning damage. So the Priest Chime is our best bet until we get our final chime for the build. But that'll be much later down the line as it has a pretty steep requirement. Let's see. We have a few directions we could go now, but that's probably going to do it for this video. In the next one, we'll probably continue on from Harvest Valley. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and consider subscribing. I'll see you all in the next one.